there, everybody? This is your new host, Jet Set Radio DJ, and I'm about to bring you one of the greatest fast-forward/rewind shows that you're about to hear on podcast radio. That's right, Landin Rewind Show. Each and every week, I'm going to try to bring to you the best clips, the funniest antics, and the silliest and most outrageous moments that only Landin can offer to you. Now, always check these two guys out on Twitter at Real Jason Rivera or Real Johnny Landin. They also have a great website called listentotheshow.com. Download the show, put it on iTunes, put it on your podcast. I don't care how you do it. You need to listen to this show. Get it? Listen to this show? Anyway, this past week's show is absolutely fantastic. Let me give you a quick backstory what's going on here. Landin had a lot of women guests lately that are absolutely gorgeous, beautiful beyond control. And you know what? They decided to put up a poll for us, the listeners, to vote and see who we found the most sexiest, the most beautiful. So check out this clip as they review some of the ladies in this poll right now.
The third contestant, our former co-host Glenn's absolute favorite of all time, Crazy Mary Dobson.
She's like the third party candidate, or in this case, she's like the 20th party candidate. She has absolutely no chance of winning. And I think the major deal breaker with her is the fact, she fucked Madman Pondo, so that kind of ruins everything.
Or that she sounds like Animal from the Muppet Show when she speaks. We're lucky that this isn't like a fucking competition. Well, I guess that is criteria, because people are voting based on the female attraction. They can go to their Twitters. They can listen to the previous episode of the show. They can decide overall how attractive they think she is. So
I think Crazy Mary,
she's
a nice girl and everything, and I talk to her sometimes, and she's a fellow juggalo, so we have that in common. But I don't think she has any chance of winning this.
And the next contestant, the first pornographic actress to be on the show, Jackie Joy.
Jackie Joy she looks like Ashlyn, but surgically enhanced. And maybe she has an advantage in the poll because of that. What do you think? I don't know.
Yeah, but then,
she's banged a lot of guys though.
Her best advantage is that former co-host Ryan Roth, if he has access to multiple computers, will vote for her from every computer that he accesses for the rest of the month. But I think
he doesn't even remember who he is, even after he interviewed her.
Yeah, he had class with her once. So he sniffed one of her farts, and apparently,
I don't think she's gonna win. But I think here's the thing with her. Here's the deal breaker with that. Just obviously the fact that she's in porn, like that's the biggest turnoff. I wouldn't be able to vote for her, based on that.
Well, our next guest, I know that you won't vote for at all because of personal reasons. Audrey Marie.
Yeah.
Ashley Miller.
If this was 2011 or 2012 even, I'd vote for her because, she was hot and she was still cool with me. But she gained weight, and if she wins this award, she's just going to give it to Tyler Breeze anyway, and he's more...
Like she gets everything else?
Yeah, he controls her Amazon wish list. Like, it's all Tyler Breeze's stuff on there. So I really don't want her to win. And here's the thing. If Audrey Marie does win, I'm going to personally find everyone who voted for her and slap them.
It is hard for me to decline because, like you said, she probably won't accept the award on the behalf of the show. But she does have one of those asses that looks like if you jizzed in it, you'd have an out-of-body experience like the alien that I just sent you on Twitter a little while ago. And that's why you guys should follow us on Twitter because we say a lot of fucked up shit like that.
Maybe.
But, yeah.
The thing is now that she gained so much weight, I don't know that you'd want to. She kind of looks like one of those fat chicks that would date a black guy.
Yeah, well, she's lucky that I used one of her older pictures. So there you go. But the next in line, Sarah Starr, who was also another guest on this show.
Sarah Starr probably has the best body in my opinion. I don't know. Her boobs are fake as hell. But here's the thing: if I could take Silesia Sparks' head and put it on Sarah Starr's body and create a Frankenstein type thing, I'd vote for that Frankenstein. But I can't do that. So it's Sarah Starr. And then not only that, but she unfollowed me on Twitter. Major deal breaker right there. Almost all of the other contestants follow me. And, she has a husband. That's another deal breaker. When let's say theoretically I'm beating off to these contestants in this poll.
You're going to have to think about that.
I'm going to have to think about her husband, or I'm going to have to think about whatever the deal breaker is. And that's going to ruin the entire thing for me.
Yeah, and speaking of, the next contestant would be Silesia Sparks, potentially the odds-on favorite to win at this point. She's currently leading in the polls.
Silesia Sparks is my closest friend in wrestling and my closest friend in this poll. So if she does win, it would be cool. Plus, we were the first podcast that she did, so she's kind of an Asked original, so to speak.
Yeah.
I would say the only deal breaker there is the fact that she has more muscles than me. And also the fact that I think she has more testosterone in her body than me, and, I mean, that right there, like, her face is the best, but everything else, I don't know.
Well, she does have a nice pair of tits.
Jason, my boy, well said. Nice pair of tits, sleaziest spark. Still currently leading in the polls if you haven't checked it out. Vote at listentotheshow.com for the latest and finding out to see who's in first place. Patrice Wilson, unfortunately, was unable to be on the show this past week due to possibly some pedophile charges or birthday parties, as they said on the show. Who knows where he was. But Viv and Landin always have something under their sleeve. And check it out, they did have a backup guest after all.
So, thanks a lot for calling in, Adam. We're going to go to our next caller. We do have a musical guest joining us in place of the one that canceled on us. So I'm going to cut to him right now.
Hi, guys. What's going on? Hello?
Hey, how's it going? Who are we speaking with?
Jerry White.
Jerry, how you doing?
Good. How are my favorite wetbacks tonight? How you doing?
Doing good. We're doing good. Mowed any
We're
lawns?
great.
Yeah, I haven't mowed any lawns or changed any car engines lately. I think I'm doing pretty good.
Do you have any work for me, Jerry? I need to get some money, some
Oh,
spare cash.
Since I am a pseudo-celebrity, I always have lovely work for my favorite brown people. Can you wash a car or mow a lawn?
I can do both.
It's menial labor, but you guys are good there, right?
No,
It is in our blood.
I would usually try to lie and be self-respecting and say that I don't do any of that stereotypical shit, but I had arroz con pollo for dinner tonight, so I'm all fresh out.
Speaks for itself, but I'm calling to complain. Your guest didn't come on tonight, and I was a little upset because I want to, proposition him to direct my video.
Are you sure that you work with him? I thought you didn't like his type of people.
Well, but the guy's got a good work ethic, and his song got really big. Everyone was singing that fucking Friday song.
Is it because of the fact that he makes white kids famous? Is that why you're sort of allowing,
Well, Rebecca Black was pretty fucking hot.
Oh, shit.
Wow, Jerry.
Isn't she like 11?
In a Jewy kind of way, but you see, I had a big plan, man. I had a whole video planned out. He was going to do it for me. I pictured me swooping in on a giant, big, majestic American eagle, and below me would be a bunch of black people toiling in a field, and then a big iron cross would smear across the screen, and I start singing my song, holding an American flag.
Kind of like the sound of that.
Right? Sounds pretty fucking good. And then when I get to the chorus, when I start laying it down, all these crosses just light on fire like the fucking sun, man.
You got it all planned out.
Yeah.
I do that all planned out. And I'm releasing a new record. I'm working on one right now. It's Jerry White and the Sister Fuckers, and it's called White is the New Brown.
I think we are on from that album.
Yeah, I gave you a clip. You should probably play that. Promote me.
Yeah. We're gonna play this sample right here. The sample of Jerry White's newest single, "Hard to Be White."
Well, times are a-changin' and not for the best. There's a black man in the White House who's a secret communist. And gone are the children whose skin's so pure and white. We're overrun with slant-eyed gooks, Mexicans and kikes. America has gone astray today. Socialism's everywhere and way too many gays. We must take a stand and fight with all our might. It's getting hard to be white.
Jerry, warming the cockles of my heart. I absolutely agree with you. Well, listen, check it out. River Landin always follow up with current events, and obviously this past week we had a huge blowout with Bat Kid in San Francisco, completely tearing up the city, completely doing everything. And let's hear a little bit of what River Landin have to say about that.
Around this weekend, there was an overwhelming amount of support for Bat Kid getting his Make-A-Wish. What were your thoughts upon seeing the photos? Were you moved?
I think that it's completely biased because this is the thing. If other kids ask for that now, they're going to say no to them. But this one fucking kid got it. Like, what makes him so different from all the other kids that are dying.
That is true, because now what you've done is you've shown all these other kids, because the internet, I mean, everybody fucking has it. You've got your iPads, your iTouches, your fucking cell phones, your laptops, and most of these kids who are bedridden, now they're going to ask for something like this, and they're going to fucking, I don't know, just be fucking miserable because of it. I mean, honestly, it's kind of sad, but then you see the kid running around with Batman, and it's supposed to be all touching, and I sort of laughed, and my first thought was, I wonder if part of the Batman experience is that at the end of the Batman experience, he gets to go lick Anne Hathaway's asshole. So that's what I want to know, because if I were dying, hey, you know what, I don't care how many Mexicans fucking gangbanged her in that movie, I think I'm going to give that a try before I die. So,
what I can't... Oh, God. I was going to say, what I can't help but notice is that of all the superheroes, they gave him the one without any superpowers.
Yeah.
So, the only one that can die.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I don't know.
But at least he didn't wish to be Aquaman.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't be able to do that, you know what I'm saying?
So they just found him in a bathtub.
Of course you would say that. But, I mean, you know what? It's just sort of silly because you see it, and I guess he stopped, like, the Riddler, and I wonder, like, I don't know. It's just such a ridiculous...
Batman, the Riddler, he stopped the Puzzler. There's a big difference.
Puzzler, yeah.
But you know what the riddle was? It's how am I going to keep living?
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, everybody was, like, so moved by it. You had it to the point where people were like, you know what, he should replace Ben Affleck in the movies. He would be a better Batman. And do what, like, sit there all... He was a little fat kid, too. I couldn't help but laugh at that.
I feel bad making fun of him because he's a dying kid, but, I mean, like, it's just the way the media portrays it.
It was very...
The media can make you hate anyone just by pushing it.
Yeah, and the media was very pretentious about it. Like you said, it's going to be the situation where now every kid who's sick and dying is going to aspire to either, be Batman, or someone will be like, no, fuck that, I want to be Iron Man, I want to be Spider-Man. They're going to start setting the bar higher, and Make-A-Wish isn't going to cater to them. They're going to be like, fuck you and fuck your city.
My dying wish would be to have 300 girls in one day, like Jasmine St. Clair in reverse.
My question is, I mean, I don't know how much money the family had, because I'm sure that factored into it as well. I mean, I feel like if you're a family that's affluent, they're going to do this for you, but if you're like a family that's struggling and then your child is dying, they're going to be like, hey, who the fuck are you?
What a shame, guys. You know, it's Bat Kid. Screw the little bastard. He shouldn't have deserved this wish anyway. Anyway, Riven Landin had found another guest that called in. His name is Valentino Sparks. Supposedly, Silesia Sparks has a brother? Oh, no. Check it out here. You'll find out the truth right now.
Yeah, so, look, our guest is trying to join us again, and I use that term loosely. Valentino, can you speak?
Hello?
Yes. Is this Valentino?
Yeah, it is.
So, we tried to answer you before. Why do you sound like Pip from Great Expectations? I mean, do you sweep chimneys for a living?
No.
Are you sure? Because you sound like the kind of kid who, like, is struggling in the street to eat a ham sandwich. Hello, mother. Please don't beat me again.
There's actually a city in England called Buckinghamshire. They're like a lot of posh people there.
Okay. Are you the kid? Are you the kid who CM Punk yelled at earlier this week and made cry? Let's be honest.
No, I actually didn't attend a lot of their shows.
Is it because you're poor?
No, because I hate WWE.
Okay, yeah.
You hate WWE? Why?
Because about everything about it, basically.
All right, listen. Have you ever banged any of your teachers?
No, I hate all of them.
Would you allow a drunken cheerleader to drag you away and give you a sloppy blowjob while she's drunk in the bathroom and then get arrested for 18 months?
Depends how fit she is.
Would you let Silesia do it? Or is that off limits because you're supposedly related?
I don't know.
Let's say Silesia is a pedophile, and she's looking to bring her big muscles over to England and molest a little boy who sounds like he's from Oliver Twist. Do you let her do it, or do you tell her no?
I would say no in like 8 different languages.
I think it's illegal for you and Riv to even be talking to each other.
Yeah. let me ask you this, Valentino. You do realize that you're not actually related to Silesia or Silvana, correct?
Yeah, I know. It's like a storyline. It's like one of those situations.
Do you realize that they have a restraining order against you?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, they don't want you within 1,000 feet of their tweets.
No, really?
Yes, this is the thing. You're also not allowed to hang around the dog, which is even worse.
You're around the dog.
Yeah, you're not even allowed to hang around Peanut.
Did Peanut even say that? Because he might not have a voice.
Peanut is actually very intelligent, thank you.
He talks. He's like one of those cartoon dogs that can speak.
He's like fucking Buck from Married with Children.
Yeah, he's like a dog you doctors use.
Yeah.
That's what I think him as.
Why do you want to be an Esho anyway?
I don't know.
Is it because you're brown?
I think that because I'm brown. I'm quarter Italian. That's the reason. I'm quarter Italian.
You like girls, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I like girls. I like boobs.
Okay, good. All right,
Okay,
I'm just checking.
So who did you vote for in the Asked Hottest Female of 2013 competition?
There was a lot of good. There was a lot of good girls actually, like Barbie Hayden and all that, and Mercedes Justine. But I obviously voted for Silesia. You know.
Isn't that kind of incestuous to say that you're a Sparks but then vote for Silesia? Does that mean you have issues?
I don't think it's illegal.
Are you one of those people that gets all excited when you see the brother and sister making out on Game of Thrones?
I got no idea what you're talking about.
Would you get offended by a guy telling you that he sniffed your fake sister's underwear?
No.
Okay.
Name a dirt sheet.
What are your thoughts on Silesia having more testosterone in her body than me?
I don't know. We're not in school, guys.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: does it worry you right now that Crispin is cracking his knuckles and he's fighting the urge to give you a very strong hug that would probably crack your neck?
It's fine. I don't mind anyone giving me a hug, really, as long as they.
I'll give you a hug.
And they
a nice throat hug.
And they have really good hygiene.
Yeah. So would you like to receive a hug from Crispin at this time?
Probably.
And he's gone. Crispin gave him a hug, and now no. Thanks for that, Crispin. That was actually kind of disturbing. That
You're
was
welcome.
the weirdest. I think that was the
No
weirdest.
homo, by the way. It wasn't a homo hug. Just letting you know.
Poor Valentino Sparks, DOA, dead on arrival. What a shame. What a shame. Good job, Crispin, taking care of the garbage. We're gonna play a clip for you. A lesbian waitress is receiving a lot of money? How? Why did they think of this plan?
Apparently, get this, a gay waitress was denied a tip, and I guess Jerry White has been busy, and somebody wrote on her receipt, "I choose not to give you a tip because of how you choose to live your lifestyle, and I do not agree with it." Now, immediately upon talking about this on Facebook and on social networking sites, the tips came pouring in. People started sending her thousands of dollars of money.
How did they know that she was gay and when they were getting the food? Like, what, does she have a shirt that says, I like women?
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of confusing to me. And my question is, why didn't we think about this? Because I would totally go and pretend to be like a gay waiter if it meant that somebody was going to send me $3,000 in money just because somebody denied me a tip. And my question is, where does this money come from? Everybody says they're fucking broke all the time, but they have enough money to donate to this woman that apparently was discriminated against.
Yeah, I don't know. Everybody's broke, but they're buying PlayStation 4s on the release day and sending money to lesbians.
Yeah, and I find that weird. It's like, it's almost like she's getting paid to be lesbian and be discriminated against. Yeah. I mean, I do think it's douchey that the people did that. But, I mean, like you said, how did they know? And was she, like, running around telling everybody how
work.
she is?
Dude, it could be, like, she could have set that up. Like, it's probably work.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. It sounds too...
Was she eating pussy at the table? Like, how would they...
Yeah,
I know. Did she, like
tell... watch me here as I engage in homosexual antics while you eat your dinner.
Yeah.
Was she just like a guy, like with a bulldog haircut? Like I don't know how you would know.
Even if so, like that's not even.
You wouldn't know. That's not criteria. I mean, she was like.
Usually with those,
gay women aren't like gay men. Like gay men, it's very obvious because they act like women. But like, how would you distinguish a lesbian woman?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That's not true because Ed Wood's kind of manly for like a gay dude who's like 6'4", and he's just very like.
Hey, but you know what? If you ask him if he sucks a dick, he'll put one right in his mouth, won't he?
That's true, but I mean, it's not something you could tell based on appearance, or unless he hits on you. Which, if he were in a place of work, never mind, it's Ed Wood. But you know what I mean. You can't make that assumption about somebody that they're gay. So I mean, unless she was like flaunting it or whatever, which is kind of weird to do in a workplace. I don't think your sexuality should factor into your workplace at all, whether you're proud of it or not. Just be like, hey, I'm taking your food and I'm gay. It's kind of a little bit ridiculous. I mean,
retarded. I don't get it.
But I'm just sort of confused as to where all this money came from and why people aren't giving it to us.
I'm starting to think the same thing. Why aren't people donating to the Riv and Landin show? If you want to donate, go to the donations page and give them something. Give them $1, $2. They have wish lists. We have another clip that's coming up right now that involves a former co-host of the Axe podcast, and it involves Ed Wood calling into another show that is a blatant ripoff of the Riv and Landin show.
We have some story about Ed Wood, which I found very entertaining. Now, I'm not going to say who, but apparently he listened to another show and he felt that they were ripping us off, which isn't entirely true because, I mean, we're in a complete class all by ourselves. But apparently it led to a war. They tagged us on Twitter and told us how awful they think we are, which I don't like being dragged into it just because.
I'd like to see what guests they get on their show and who they're friends with and what fucking people they have that they interview. Because these shows have no creativity. They're horrible. Anyone does a podcast now and all right, I get it. It's like the public access TV of 2013, but don't take shots at people who are way more creative and talented than you are.
And don't take shots at people for other people showing up on your show and starting something. Because, I mean, let's face it, sure. Ed Wood, I guess he was cruising Twitter. He found their show. He felt that there were similarities. And Ed Wood is a very outspoken guy. He'll tell you flat out what he thinks. And he called in, and I guess he decided to give his honest opinion. Now, from there, they went and they tweeted us and told us that we're, like, dickheads and that our show fucking sucks and all. I'm like, we had nothing to do with this. But after I found out about it, I did go back and I gathered some clips of what happened because, you know what, even if Ed would piss him off, damn if it wasn't funny as fuck. So we're going to play those real quick for you guys.
Asinine. Absolutely ridiculous. But anyways, folks, before I move on, we have a caller here on the line, and I believe they've been on hold now for about 3 minutes, but whatever. But I will continue my New Brunswick rant in a little bit. I am going to go ahead and take this call here. This is a wacky-ass number. I'm not even going to try to decipher what kind of number this is. But anyways, who are you and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Connecticut. How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this now for about 7 weeks.
And you don't... So you mustn't get many callers because you'd know automatically that this was a Skype call if you did. Huh?
Well, it's just a bunch of numbers on... Well, the only callers I've ever gotten on here are like actual numbers. Just letting you know that now.
Yeah, I guess those phone numbers. So do you often rip off formats of other shows that are on Blog Talks? Is that a thing you do? Like Ask with Riv and... Landin?
Not ripping off. I'm not ripping off anybody.
No? I mean, I concluded while you were ranting. I mean,
that's
I feel bad
anyway,
but that you live in New Brunswick in the first place. That's terrible into itself. But the fact
I know,
that
trust me, it's terrible.
I can kind of understand why they don't call you back. I mean, you're blatantly ripping off other shows that have been around longer than you.
Well, that wasn't my intention.
No response.
Well, I suggest you look up Ask with Riv and Landin and maybe change your title and your format, because right now you look like a complete fucking asshole. Have a great day, friend.
I love the awkward silence.
Okay, very much for your call.
He's like.
Anyways, folks, I'm going to continue on with my rant here about New Brunswick.
That sounds like riveting information. But we are going to play the rest of the Ed Wood.
Listen, I think that guy, like, how do you host a show and you have nothing to say when somebody calls and shit talks you?
Yeah, if somebody shit talks me, I think you got to be.
He stole our format, and he looks like fucking Jonah Hill on crack.
You know,
the coolest thing about him is the fact that he has a manly voice, despite having probably like no testosterone in his body. He defied fucking logic with that one. But
now, for those who listen to this show and downloaded it in its entirety, the rest of the altercation between Ed Wood and that show, and yes, it continued, and even involved Luke Hudson, will be on.
When we play, I want to hear Luke. Come on.
You want to hear it now?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we'll go ahead and play the rest of this for you guys.
Well, if you want to hear the Luke Hudson part, you got to download the show at listentotheshow.com, and you'll find that bit. Actually, you'll find all the bits that I played on today's podcast for the Vivid Landin Rewinds. Now, I have one more great clip that involves Chris Benoit, somebody in Portugal or Spain or somewhere over in that crazy place we call Europe, dedicated a song to the great and late Chris Benoit.
Jerry White?
No, the guy responsible for this great song that's dedicated to one of our co-hosts, Crispin. It's called what? Funk du Benoit?
I don't even know how to say it because it's another language. Like, Funko de Benoit?
Yeah.
No, hold on, let me see.
The Funky Benoit?
No, yeah, Funk du Benoit.
Yeah, so we're going to play that right now. It's a brief 1-minute song.
And then I'll translate it after.
Yeah. So we're going to play that right now for you guys, and this is probably the most Hispanic-sounding thing we've ever done on this show.
Benoit, no ringue eu te esculacho, no escritório ou no quarto, PCW, WCW, eu sou horrível, Smack ainda me ama, me excluíram do joguinho, whatever pra minha banda, insano Benoitão, um pai interessante, antes bom pai de família, depois mão sem coração. Mas não se esqueça, ex-campeão do mundo, depois da transmissão eu já não era mais o assunto. Pro Vince enlouquecer, pro Vince enlouquecer, a pressão de todo lado fez você me esquecer. Pro Vince enlouquecer, pro Vince enlouquecer, cinturão peso pesado só voltou no SummerSlam. Benoit, Benoitão, Benoitão,
That is fucking the dopest shit I've ever heard. That's way better than this Justin Bieber, Miley Cyrus shit that's dominating the airwaves.
Benoit, what did you think of that? Would you use that as your theme song?
I don't know what to make of it, but I would fuck a woman to it.
I feel like you wouldn't have a choice. I feel like if you and Eddie were still around, that would have been your mashup fucking tag theme in 2013.
And it's not even in Spanish.